We have to start with representation terms of particles that is called mole. Yes, so mole is defined as quantity of a substance, quantity of a substance that contains, mole is defined as quantity of a substance that contains 6.022 exponent 23 particles. 6.0222 exponent 23 particles. Particles means atoms. Particles means molecules. And particles means ions. Or you could say formula units. So a mole is basically defined as a quantity of a substance that contains 6.022 exponent 23 particles per unit volume. So these particles are categorized as atoms in the case for elements, molecules in the case for compounds, ions in the case for ionic compounds, or you would say collectively as formula units. Is it clear? Yes. So, students, for example, I would tell you, for example, we have 1 mole of copper atoms, 1 mole of copper atoms, 1 mole of carbon dioxide gas molecules, 1 mole of sodium chloride formula units, 1 mole of let's suppose hydroxyl radical, yeah, hydroxyl ions. Okay, so these are the different four type of particles that 1 mole can describe. 1 mole of copper, copper will be having what will be copper composed of? Copper will be composed of copper atoms because copper is an element, so elements are composed of atoms. So copper, 1 mole of copper will contains copper atoms. Okay, 1 mole of carbon dioxide will contain carbon dioxide gas molecules because carbon dioxide gas is a covalent compound. So carbon dioxide gas will be composed of carbon dioxide gas molecules. Then 1 mole of sodium chloride. This sodium chloride will contain 1 mole of sodium chloride formula units because we will classify ionic compounds as formula units. We know that there are multiple. You would say numerous ions are there. There are numerous ions, cations, and numerous anions are there, and they are held together in a giant atomic, a giant crystal lattice. So when we just pick out, and they all contain sodium and chloride atoms in the ratio 1:1, you would say, okay. So if we just pick out one unit from that, one unit that is having a repeated configuration of sodium and chlorine, so we would say that this is one formula unit. So this is one formula unit for sodium chloride, and that 1 mole of sodium chloride will contain Avogadro number of particles, same number of particles that I have given you before. So this is it. Then we have 1 mole of hydroxyl ions, 1 mole of hydroxyl ion, or 1 mole of, let's suppose, chloride ion, or 1 mole of sodium ions, or 1 mole of copper ions. So ions, formula units, atoms and molecules are, and also electrons. Sometimes we also classify subatomic particles like electron, protons, and neutrons, like how many subatomic particles will be there in 1 mole of particular substance. So if we say 1 mole, the similarity is over here we have 1 mole. 1 mole is same over here, and the other things are different. Copper is different, carbon dioxide gas is different, sodium chloride is different, hydroxide radical is different, and the other things are also different. So we have different substances in this world. But whenever we say 1 mole, then this 1 mole is similarity in all these four things. So what does this 1 mole contain? 1 mole of substance will contain 6.022 exponent 23 particles per mole, you would say. ठीक है, we have 6.022 exponent 23 particles per mole. ये exponent का symbol बेटा आपके पास कैलकुलेटर में होता है, exponent लिखा होता है EXP. You just press that and then enter this value, so you will be able to write down, enter the value in the calculator. 6.022, you will write it, like enter it simply. Then you will not enter multiply. You will not enter multiply in your calculator. You just enter, just press exponential EXP. It is written in your calculator. It is present. So you just press 6.022. Then you just press exponent, and you just press, because this is a positive value. So you just press 23. and then your value will be there in the calculator. I hope it is clear. कोई पूछना चाह रहे तो पूछ सकता है. Now this quantity that is 6.022 exponent 23. This quantity is a number. You would say that it's a huge number. It is having 6.022 exponent 23 means it is having 23 zeros out after this 6. We have 23 positive zero like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you enter 23 zeros. So it's a huge quantity, and we have a huge quantity of particles in per unit molecule of any unit mole of any substance. We have this much huge quantity of particles, and even on the it was written in a book that even on a pencil tip of the pencil we have numerous and numerous of atoms of the particular substance or molecule of the particular substance that from which the lid is made. So this huge number is basically called as Avogadro's number. Avogadro's this huge quantity is basically called Avogadro. So this quantity is basically called Avogadro's number or Avogadro's constant. There are two numbers for this quantity. First is Avogadro's number or Avogadro's constant. I hope it is clear. Okay, and the value is written as 6.022 exponent 23. Now this is the clear thing. Okay, fine. Now one mole of any substance will contain this much quantity of particles. I have described you the particles definition, that it can be having atoms, it can be having molecules, it can be having ions, and it can be having formula units and so on. Now the formula for calculation of particles from the given number of moles or vice versa is basically that we write on this formula class. number of moles Number of moles is equal to number of particles multiplied by Na. This is the symbol for Avogadro's number. So what is the formula for calculation? We have number of moles is equal to number of particles into Na. ठीक है, number of moles is equal to number of particles into Na, और vice versa क्या होगा इसका? The vice versa formula will be, if we want to calculate number of particles, then what we will do? How we can calculate number of particles, class? Number of moles मल्टीप्लाई है ना. एक मिनट, मैंने कुछ गड़बड़ कर दी है. नंबर ऑफ मोल्स ऑफ सॉरी नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल्स अपॉन Na होता है यहाँ पे. दिस इज एक मिनट. दिस इज डिवाइडेड बाय, ठीक है, नंबर ऑफ मोल्स अपॉन Na. Number of moles equal to particles upon Na, and number of particles will be moles into Avogadro's number. Moles into Avogadro's number. This is the definition for particles, the formula for particles. Okay, so there are two formulas: number of moles will be particles upon Na, or number of particles will be equal to moles into Na. Okay, so I hope it is clear. These two formulas are fine. I hope it is clear. एक बार फिर लिख देती हूँ. Number of moles is equal to particles upon Na, and number of particles is equal to number of moles into Na. तो एक जगह मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा है और अगली जगह आपके पास डिवाइड हो रहा है. दैट इज डेफिनेटली रेसिप्रोकल फॉर्मूला फॉर कैलकुलेशन ऑफ मोल्स एंड फॉर द कैलकुलेशन ऑफ Avogadro's number. गॉट इट? सारे एलिमेंट्स के मोल सेम नहीं होते, मगर इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट वन मोल, अगर हम एक मोल की बात करेंगे तो द क्वांटिटी ऑफ पार्टिकल्स विल बी सेम, एंड इफ यू हैव 200 मोल्स फॉर ईच पार्टिकल, देन 200 विल बी मल्टीप्लाइड बाय द Avogadro's नंबर टू गेट द नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल्स. ठीक है, समझ में आया? So there is another formula for calculation of number of moles, and by taking quantity of the particular number of moles, the answer would be number of moles is equal to mass in gram Mass in gram upon mr. Number of moles of substance will be equal to mass in gram upon mr. What is mr? Can anybody tell me what is mr? What is mr? Do you know what is mr? Or do you know what is ar? Don't you know about mr and ar? What are these? Yes, it is. Yes. Molecular mass or atomic mass, if they're expressed in terms of grams. Listen carefully. Atomic mass, अभी last topic हमने यही पढ़ा था. Atomic mass, molecular mass, or formula mass. If these three things, any of these three things, are expressed in terms of grams, then we would say that the particular thing is called as its molar mass. Molar mass is basically mass of atom, mass of molecule, or mass of any compound expressed in terms of grams. If atomic mass is written in terms of grams, then we will say that it is its molar mass. Molar mass, mass of one mole. Mass of one mole of any substance will be called as one molar mass. For example, copper molar mass will be 63.5. Molar mass for silver will be 108 point something, इसका होता है 0.3 होता है शायद 108.3 grams. So if we express these quantities in terms of grams, then we will say that that is their molar mass. हालांकि ये atoms हैं, elements है ना, elements are composed of atoms, but still we will say their molar mass. Molar mass means, again, when we are saying that it is one, we have a quantity of one, then definitely we will say, and we are expressing the particular mass in terms of grams, and it is called its molar mass. Got it? ठीक है? Got it, class? No? Yes, the reciprocal formula will become mass in gram is equal to, कैसे निकालेंगे? Number of moles into mr. That will be the formula for calculation of mass in gram from the given moles. अगर moles given होंगे आपको, तो mass in gram कैसे निकालेंगे? Mass in gram का formula होगा number of moles into mr. For example, अभी मैं example आपको देती हूँ. For example, we will calculate the mass in gram of 2.5 moles of sodium atom. ठीक है? Let's calculate mass in gram of 2.5 moles of sodium. कैसे निकालेंगे पता है? चलिए मैं एक और क्वेश्चन दे रही हूँ. चलिए like okay, next question will be calculate number of moles. Let us open the book. रुक जाओ, हम बुक से देखते हैं बुक में क्या एक्सरसाइज है. So hydrogen peroxide so molecular formula is H2O2. Calculate mass in gram of this compound that would contain 2.5 mole. अब आपसे पूछ रहे हैं कि if we have 2.5 moles, then what will the mass in gram? So the answer will be mass in gram upon mr will be equal to number of moles. So if we have 2.5, क्या नजर नहीं आ रहा?